All right, so as the title says, we are going to be listening to all 14 songs in the cover collection Volume 7 for Bang Dream. Each band has 2 songs and 14, of course, in total. We're going to listen to all of them, and this is gonna be my first time listening to it, so I only heard the game size versions of all these, never heard the full version yet. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We'll be listening to all 14 songs, ranking them based on my tier list, but of course, viewers, you guys can also contribute to this discussion as well and see what you all think. Let's get right into it. We'll start off with Poppin' Party's 2 songs here. So Poppin' Party, the first song in this album is Vampires. All right, so this one will be now playing. This is a Deco 27 song, not from anime or anything. Let's get right into it. Right off the bat, like, again, even when the TV size or the game size came out, I was like, this doesn't feel like Poppin' Party. like this is just it's so different, right? The way that approaches this song. And again, this is a really difficult song, so full credit is due. With how she approaches these vocals is actually, like, this song is super fun. I like the instrumental. I like how, like, there's a little bit of like funness to it. I personally think if there was a little bit more like Poppin' Party involvement, maybe the Poppin' Party characters kind of contribute to the yays instead, I think that'd be even better. But I actually quite like this song. I think so far, for the time being, just looking at the other songs that are to come, I do have a feeling I'll probably like this song quite a bit. I think for now, though, I'm just gonna leave it in the middle of the pack of A. It might move up to A+ depending on how I feel. I'm gonna leave it to A for now. I do, again, Kasumi's voice hitting all those high notes, I'm just like, whoa. It is a little bit much, but it is fine. It is fine. I do like the song, though. The original is a banger. Like, the original song is a banger. If I were to compare this with the Project Sekai one, I think I like the Sekai one a little bit more. Just as an example. Yeah, most people gave a 5 or a 4, which is really cool. Obviously off to a great start. That was a very good song. So let's get into the next song. We're gonna do Kaibutsu. This is the opening to Beastars, the second opening to Beastars from YOASOBI. This one's gonna be really interesting. I'm really looking forward to hearing the middle part, because obviously the game size is a little bit weird. I do think the middle part will make or break whether or not I really like this song or not. So again, it's really interesting because I'm a huge fan of YOASOBI. YOASOBI is like one of my favorite artists for sure. So it's really, really hard to compare to the original, but I think I do appreciate how they try to make things different, right? It doesn't have like the edgy kind of like really like hard hitting instrumentals that they had in the original song. They try to do something different, and I actually appreciate that a little bit more, because if they try to do the same thing, it probably just won't be the same, right? It just sounds a little bit off, but I appreciate that they do the instrumentals a little bit differently. It's a little bit more calming, but still like a little bit nice, like the little bass in the middle part, and then in the end is the guitar and the piano. Yeah, I think that this is. I do think that I like the song a little bit more than Vampire. Again, it's hard. You shouldn't compare the two just because they so happen to be from the same band or so happen to be in the same album. But, just for now, I do enjoy this. I would say this is A+ for me. I do really like just the fact that, again, Kasumi's vocals are a little bit more like a little bit more controlled here. The instrumental is really, really interesting. It's really hard to beat the original because I love the original song, but this was a pretty good adaptation, I think, of it overall. Yeah, they are both 100% Kasumi. I do think that, again, both of these songs have these little hey parts. If they had the other vocalists come in and help out, I think that would be even cooler. But yeah, it's all Kasumi. So the next one is Mental Chainsaw. This is this is a song from Kairiki Bear. So just the cover from Kairiki Bear from Afterglow here. So we're gonna go listen to it very shortly. So this one's interesting because I think for a lot of people, myself included, we've listened to some Kairiki Bear songs, right? Like Venom is a very iconic one, and obviously most recently, or not that recently, but still, Bug is like really good, right? So Mental Chainsaw kind of is like a little bit on the backside when it comes to Kairiki Bear songs. So I don't think this is a bad song, like in terms of original. It's not a bad song, right? So I haven't really listened to the original enough to really make a comparison. I think this song is fine. It's a lot of fun, right? Like the little, like the keyboard stuff that Tsugumi does in the back. That's always a lot of fun, but I think that's also a product of like just the original song as well. I think it's pretty fun. Would I listen to this more than the other two songs I've listened to so far today? Probably not, I would say. I wouldn't go out of the way to necessarily listen to this song, but it's a good song, for sure. I think I'm gonna pretty comfortably put this in A tier. I think I do like this a little bit more than the than Poppin' Party's Vampire. Again, there's just a little few gripes about the Poopypa Vampire that I have. That is not necessarily, maybe that's just me, but I think Mental Chainsaw is a pretty comfortable A. I don't really see it going higher than that. It was a lot of fun, though. I think it was a lot of fun. All right, the next song we're going to be looking at today is going to be Abnormalized. So Abnormalized, it was part of the little bit of the collab. It's the Psycho-Pass opening from TK, and I love TK. Well, it's technically just Ling Toside Segure, not TK from Ling Toside Segure. I might have to go back and listen to. The original again, because I didn't recall the song being this good. I did not recall the original song being this good. Maybe I'm thinking of a different Psycho-Pass song. I didn't. Oh, actually, you know what, guys? Enigmatic Feeling is the song that, like, from Ling Toside Segure that I'm just like, no, that's no. This one actually isn't that bad. And honestly, I think that Ayane Sakura, like, rocks the TK songs, right? The TK commissioned song, that one was really good. Like when she hits all those high notes, and I think like just her voice really fits TK's kind of like instrumental style really well, like actually. So I'm actually pretty surprised. I actually do quite like this song. I actually do quite this one. I like this one. It is a little bit long, and maybe like there's some parts that are a little bit maybe less interesting, but I did like the ending. I like some of like the higher notes that she hit. I think I also like this one more than Mental Chainsaw. So I think I will be putting this on A+. I think I like the Kaibutsu song a little bit more. At least again, this is first impression. I could change it at any moment, but for time being, that's gonna be how it is. And let's move on to the next song. So now we're gonna move on to Past the Palettes. This will be the last time we'll be hearing. This is the last time we'll hear Amito's voice. Ugh. Now I'm sad. I shouldn't have set myself up for like that. The next song is Haru wo Tsugeru. This is a song by Yama. So again, if you guys are familiar with Yama, you should be familiar with Yama. They are, well, notably, they are doing the current ending song for Spy X Family Season 2. Or Part 2. And Haru wo Tsugeru was one of their like bigger songs that they had. So I actually really like the original. I did like the game size version of this. Let's see if these, the TV size adds some extra flair, and see if there's anything that I enjoy about this. So I like this one. I think out of all the songs so far, I'll just be completely honest, it might be slightly biased. I think it's slightly biased. I think this is my favorite out of the songs so far. I think for those who maybe not necessarily as big of a Past the Palettes fan, or maybe necessarily as much of a Yama fan, might not like it as much, and I could totally see that. I think this one's a little weird because if you listen to the original one, Yama's vocals are a lot more like deep, kind of more intense feeling, right? So it definitely gives a much different vibe. Like this one has a more cutesy kind of, it's funky, but it's like a cute funky kind of, the instrumental makes it definitely feel like a completely different song, honestly, almost like a completely different song. If you listen to the original, I think you'll be like, well, this is not the same song. So I'm just gonna go right out of the way and just put Haru wa Tsugeru in A+. Again, I think the instrumental is very interesting. Little cutesy triangles. I don't think that was in the original. It just really has a huge past the palettes feel, and yeah, it definitely, you know, it's very past the palettes. Like I think out of all the songs so far, this one definitely is like most true to like its actual band. So the other one is Sparkling Daydream. So this is originally by Zack, and this is the opening to Chunibyo, like the very first iconic opening. So I actually am not too familiar, okay, because I haven't really watched Chunibyo. I'm not really too familiar with the original song. It's a pretty like typical anime song. Let's just leave it at that. It's a very typical anime song. When I heard the chorus, I'm like, oh yeah, like I remember the Zack vocals. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how it went. That's how it went. I like the part where the whole thing kind of got a little quiet, and then like before the very final chorus. I like that part. I think that was a pretty fun gimmick. Everything else was pretty like, I think it was pretty standard. Like nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the way, like different. But you know, it's a cute song. I think it's fine. I wouldn't say I like this as much as the other ones though. I think I'm gonna put it here. I can't believe it, man. Vampire just keeps dropping, and I thought I was possibly gonna bump it up, but there's a chance of even be bumped down. I think it's okay. It was fine. It was fine. It was really cute. I liked it. I mean, if we were to compare the two Past the Palette song, I did like the other one more. I like Haru wa Tsugeru more. This one was fine. Again, the only thing I think I'm below, it's just that they didn't really do anything crazy, right? But I think that's just sort of how the song was based on, right? Zack's songs are usually just a lot of fun throughout the whole song, so there's nothing like any big surprises in there. So next one is going to be the Roselia 2 songs. The first one's going to be Realize. Realize is by Konami Suzuki, the original. It is the opening for the second season of Re:Zero. So again, if you guys want to say, like, again, for a lot of people are saying it's a little bit dragged out, but that's also kind of the nature of the song, right? Of the cover song. If you're going to cover the song, you kind of have to cover the whole song. And that's sort of how the nature of the song is. And again, I do think that Konami Suzuki's 2 Re:Zero songs are not her best. There's definitely better Konami Suzuki songs. I actually quite like this cover, personally. I'll be honest, I was kind of coming in thinking I wouldn't like it as much as maybe I thought before, because I thought the game version was kind of, you know, okay, but you know, the guitar after the first chorus was really cool. The little soft parts with the piano in the background, you know, I think that part in the original was like pretty interesting. There was like a little bit more like a drum, and like it was a bit different. It was a bit different. So I actually, you know what, guys? I'm going to be a little bit different from you guys. I actually think this is not a bad song at all. I'm going to rank it a little bit different from you guys. I'm going to probably put it here. So I think I might be in the minority here when it comes to this song. But I actually do quite like this one. So, all right, let's move on to the next song, Preserve Roses. So this is the opening to, what is it again? Valve Rave the Liberator, and this is a song by TM Revolution and Nana Mizuki. So Roselia, Ibanana Mizuki strikes again. So obviously Kakame Dualism was another TM Revolution Nana Mizuki cover where Ron kind of acted as the female vocals and Yukina as the male vocals. For this song, they reversed it. Now Yukina is the female vocals, and then Ron is kind of taking over as the male vocals. So I don't think I've actually listened to this song in much detail. So I'm not really familiar with this song, to be honest. All right, so that was Preserved Roses. Again, this is, the easiest comparison people will do is to compare it to Kakame Dualism, because it's also a song from TM Revolution and Nana Mizuki. It's just, again, the roles are reversed in terms of female and male vocal. I'll be honest, guys, I think I like this one more than Dualism. This one, it might be a hot take. I think it's a really hot take. I think Dualism's okay. Like in the Dualism cover where they had Kakume Dualism, I didn't even think that one was the better like I didn't think that was even the better like group cover. I thought that went to Teikoku Kagekidan. Like I thought that one was the better group cover too. So my opinion on Kakume Dualism is like it's okay. I like this one a little bit more. When I like it, like it's really tough to put it. I like this song. I like this song. I think I like this more than Realize. I realized that I like this more than Realize. But do I like this more than Abnormalize? That's a lot of I's there. Like I'm honestly kind of surprised I would put the song that high up. Like I didn't even remember what the song sounded like earlier before going into this. Yeah, I like it. Like these two are honestly kind of like tied to me. Honestly, they're both Ron. Like these two are like honestly like tied. I think like I could put this either or, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But yeah, I think this was actually a pretty nice cover. Honestly. Honestly, there was parts about this song where I'm like, wow, is that Nana Mizuki? Oh wait, that's Aiba Nana, Aiba Aina. She sounded so much like Nana Mizuki in some parts. I'm like, what the heck? All right, so the next song here is going to be the long name song, Hyadan no Jojo Yujo. Of course, this is originally created by Hyadan, and this is the opening to Nichijou. Well, I'll be completely honest, I don't really have a faint memory of what this song sounds like. This is... I don't know what to think about this song. This song is chaotic. This is a chaotic song. Now, I came into this song, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be an interesting listen, but that was something. This one had Kanon and Kokoro, right? Like, it sounds like Kanon and Kokoro, which is basically Pixis. And if it's actually just Pixis, that's like huge bias points for me. Let me quickly check real quick. Okay, that gives so much brownie points because if this is Pixis, this is actually like so big. Yeah, it's Kanon and Kokoro. That's really cool. That is really cool. Now as a song itself, I appreciate the gimmicks. I'll be honest, guys, it's a lot of fun, but I don't know if I would go out of the way to really listen to it, but I do enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. Here's what I have to do, guys. I think I'll have to move these two down because we gotta give some space for some other song coming up. I will have to move Realize down. I think that's a good spot for me. Most people gave a 5, unsurprisingly. Most people gave a 5. I think I might have to give this another listen. I think first impression wise, I think it's the bass song itself that I really don't care about. Like, I love how this was mixed. But like just the bass song itself, I'm just like, I'm so indifferent on. I think I'm gonna have to leave it there for now. Alright, so next one is Si vous Président. This one is sung by Kokoro, Aya, and Mashiro, and the original artist is Pimaru-sama, who is eventually gonna get a artist tie-up with Bandry, so that's gonna be really cool. Or not a tie-up, but it's an extra song with I'm pretty sure it was an extra song with Bandry in the future. So this is gonna be exciting. But for now, we have the Si vous Président cover, and let's get a look. Again, I think out of all the songs, I'll just say I think this was the one that I was most looking forward to. I think this is the one that I was looking most forward to. So let's see if it meets those expectations. This is such a fun song. Like I think like these two are really easy to compare with each other because they're both super fun songs, but like I think this one, for instance, has a little bit more kind of intention to what it does. And I love the fact that there's 3 vocalists all coming together. Like when Aya is like, sensei, like the way she says it is just dookie. This is a slight bias. Definitely slight bias. I think, you know what? I think the weight is deserved. I do think Now, this isn't that much different from the game version, right? There's only that second verse that is added. Like, the actual game version isn't that much longer than this. It kind of has a little bit of that Shanghai Honey feel, where like Shanghai Honey, like there was a majority of the song was in the game version, and in the full version, it added a lot of flair. It didn't add too much more because, again, it wasn't that much longer, but that's not to say the song is bad, right? But the song is still a banger regardless. Yeah, I think this will be our first S tier. At least for me, this will be my first S tier. It's S'il vous Président for a reason. Starts with the letter S. Sorry, Sparkling Daydream, you don't get that honor. But S'il vous Président will be our first S tier, at least for me. We still have Colorful Box and Unravel for Morphonica, so let's get right into listening to those two. So let's go to Morphonica. We just heard Mashiro, so we're going to hear a little bit more Mashiro right now. Colorful Box is the opening to Shirobako, original artist Ishida Yoko. So this song is a really nice chill song. You know, I think it's just going to be a really nice chill song, which is going to be a bit of a difference from the Hella Happy songs we've listened to today. So let's see how this goes. This song really shows like a little bit of that morph flavor. Like, it just shows, I think, like, out of the songs that like originally you would like put into a band and see how well of a mesh it is. This is like one of the best meshes. Like, this just fits Morphonica so well. The violin is really put into super highlight in this song. I love how like the violin was plucked before the second verse. Like, that was one part I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Like, you pluck the violin before you continue. So a lot of focus on the violin. Yeah, this is a good. Like, I don't think it was notable enough that it has to be super high up, but it was a really nice, like, relaxing song that I would generally listen to a lot more often. But I put it here for now. I'm putting it here for now. On the high end, if I need to adjust and make some adjustments, I'll do that. It's just a really nice, comfortable song to listen to, right? Like, nothing too special, but it's just a really nice, comforting song to listen to. The violin was nice, and there are definitely some Morph covers that I'll have to admit they're a little jarring when they like maybe put a bit too much focus on other things. This one, they really just put so much focus on the violin, and it's just, oh, it's so nice. It's nice. So now, of course, Unravel is a very iconic song. Is it ever going to compare to the original song? Probably not. But Unravel to me kind of feels like it's like the biggest wild card here. Either Unravel is going to be like here, or it's going to be here. I think there's no in between for Unravel. It's either going to be somewhere like in the top or at the bottom. We will see how they'll approach the TV, like the game size, because again, the way they approached the game size was interesting. Now, of course, what kind of gimmicks they'll have in the instrumental, right? Again, this is a TK song, right? This is Tokyo Ghoul opening. This is another TK from Link Tosite Sugure. Like, they have a lot of heavy drum, heavy guitar. So I wonder how they're going to maybe replace that with the violin and maybe some creative guitar. Again, I have a hunch this could either go like here or here. So we'll see how this goes, but let's listen to Unravel. So this is such an interesting cover because, of course, the original song is such a like intense song, right? Like, TK is literally screaming like from the top of his lungs, and like the instrumental is so edgy, whereas this one they really tone down the edge and kind of make it feel more like a swaying, mysterious kind of song, which is interesting. It's a very different take. If there's one small thing I wished Mashiro did, I wish Ama Nezu was a little bit stronger on the vocals. I think there's some parts where I felt she was maybe a little bit too soft. I think there's some parts where I feel like it could maybe replicate the Unravel from before. But like, man, the instrumental was so interesting. Like, I was not surprised how the bridge went. I thought it was going to be as expected, the violin and how the guitar like blended together. This is now my new favorite song. That's what I said. I was either going to be here or down here, depending on how they did it. But Yeah, I think this is my new favorite song of this cover selection so far. So yeah, it's again. There's some parts again. There's a little bit odd. I do like it overall, though. Again, I think also just in Unravel in general, right? There are some parts where it's just like a little weird. If you listen to the original full version, there's like some weird screamo parts and some pretty interesting tempo changes and such. But again, they try to tone it down and just really make it sort of like a melodical, mysterious kind of feel. And I appreciate that. Again, if they try to replicate TK's screaming feel, like it just isn't Morphonica. So Crybaby is a little bit weird because technically the full version already came out. We already know the full version. There's an MV of it, and so it's kind of cheating that they're putting this as part of the cover collection. This one is the opening to Tokyo Revengers, of course, as part of the collab. Original artist is by Official Hige Dandism. It's interesting because I'm pretty familiar with the original one. Official Hige, if you guys don't know, that's a male vocal. So like, you know, Rachel is kind of singing a little bit down to like the male vocal, but like it definitely gives a, it's the vibe is very different. And like that ending part, the last part is a little bit more like symphony like in the original, but this one still continues like the rock style and such. And obviously, again, Hige songs are usually all really good. So I think I actually quite like this cover. This one isn't that bad. It's not that bad. I quite like it. I think it's definitely in the middle of the pack, and right now the middle of the pack is somewhere here, right? I actually quite like it. It's a nice, like, fun song to listen to. Yeah, I think it's gonna be maybe somewhere around here. I think, like, this whole, like, from Kaibutsu all the way to Realize, I think it's all a mess. I think these three are pretty secure and these three are pretty secure, but everything else here, I could definitely, like, see it be different and such. So I think for now I'll leave it like this, but honestly, I think these 7 will probably shift quite a bit. That's like half the cover collection. I think I might have to do some shifting around here for some of these songs. So, but either way, so we're gonna end off with the I guess maybe the most anticipated song, Megitsune. This one, from what I've heard, is strange. Is a very strange song. It could be really good or really bad depending on how you feel on the time of day. This is, of course, from Baby Metal. And Baby Metal, if you guys know, the original is always strange. Baby Metal songs are just really strange. So let's have a listen to this one and see how we feel about this. This is a really interesting song. It's hard to really describe what I just listened to. It's a lot of fun listening to it. By the way, 20 viewers. You guys are crazy. Awesome. Thank you all so much for joining in as I wrap up this tier list here. Yeah, it's so hard to describe this song. Like, it fits Ras well. They covered it so uniquely. This is just a really weird song. I can see why people are like, this is weird. I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't, like, honestly, it was a really cool song to end to. And I think out of all of them, it's definitely the most unique and, like, the coolest. But in terms of the actual song and my enjoyment on it, I don't think I could rank it that high, guys. Yeah, this guy's gonna stick in A tier, I think. I know a lot of people might be a bit upset about that. I think like these 4 here, I think kind of, honestly, I could even move all these 4 like this. And I think these 4 are all like songs that I'm like, you know, I enjoyed them, but like, would I necessarily go out of the way to listen to it as much? Maybe not. Although Megitsune live, I think, would be really sick. Hey, Triple A, but you mentioned that. I think if listening to that song live would be really, really cool. Like, actually really cool. So let's re-rank everything else. I think just for, like, symmetry purposes, I think I'm gonna do some shuffling here. I think I might have to move Hyadine down. I know it was a lot of fun, but yeah, I think I have to move it down. I'm gonna move these 2 down as well, unfortunately. I know Abnormalized might, for a lot of people, is like, why is it that low? But I think I have to leave it at that. I'm gonna swap Crybaby and Kaibutsu. I'm kind of surprised Colorful Box is that high, but I did enjoy that song quite a bit. And I think this is a pretty solid list. I think this is what I have for here. This is what I think we'll leave it at that. I think this is fine. It's funny because I listened to Vampire. I was like, oh, this is a pretty good cover. And then all the other covers were literally better. Kind of crazy, actually. I think I'm going to leave it like that. Obviously, this could change if I listen to it a second time, a third time, let some time sink in and let it, age a bit and see how it goes. But I think for now, this is my tier list of volume 7. So overall, I think this is a pretty solid this is a pretty solid cover collection. Was it the strongest? I don't think it was, but they were all really good songs. Like, none of them were like songs where I would probably just skip entirely. I think all these songs at some given point I'd probably give a listen and be like, okay, yeah, I would give it a listen. So if we go back to let's go back to volume 1. Oh no. I have to. This is bad. Uh-oh. Pink screen of death, guys. Hold on a second. I think out of in cover 1, I think this is the weakest by far out of all the 7. But I think if we were to give a winner to the band that I like the most in this one, again, feel free to contribute as well. Let's have a fun discussion about this. So between Poppin' Party, Afterglow, Past the Palettes, Roselia, and Hello Happy, which one do you guys think had the better pairing of these songs? And we'll go in each order for volume 1 all the way up to volume 7. I think this one for volume 1, I kind of have to give it to Afterglow. Afterglow's Asu Yozura, I think really is it's definitely my favorite out of the 10 here. And Ready Steady was pretty good too. Now, I do like the D4DJ one more, but this one was not a bad song. Like, for instance, something like Tamashi no Refrain for Roselli, I like it a lot. Eternal Blaze, I don't like it as much, so it kind of drops it down overall. And kind of likewise with Romeo and 1-2 Fan Club. I think both are pretty solid songs, but anything crazy or extraordinary. So I think I'm gonna give it to Afterglow first, and then honorable mention to Roselia. So that's my opinion. Again, feel free to share your thoughts about it. But again, cover 1, I do think it's the weakest out of them all. Volume 2 had 12 songs because they had the 2 mix songs here. So we could count mix as a separate category as well. And again, I think personally, Teikoku Kagekidan actually carries the mixed one. I do like it more than Kakume. Again, as I mentioned earlier, Shinai Shadowdu, I think that's just the most broken duo ever. I don't think any other cover collection, even in the newer ones, has a duo that broken. I think Roselia just easily takes the cake there. Of course, people might disagree. That's perfectly fine. But for me, Roselia has to take it here. And honorable mention to me probably goes to Pasta Palettes. I like Happy Synth. I know it's a pretty controversial opinion. And I do like Sekai wa Koi ni Ochiteru. I love the original. Chico's amazing, and I think Aya did it very well. So honorable mention here. I would give it maybe to Afterglow, but I mean, the Afterglow Redo cover is just something. Redo is just not. I don't really like Redo as a song, just as a base song. And whatever cover you could try and do at it, it's hard to salvage it. So, all right, let's look at Volume 3. Volume 3 had some pretty banger songs, 12 songs, and this is the introduction of Ras. Ooh, yeah, this one is, I think as a whole, is stronger than 2 because 2 had some really good songs and some really kind of whatever songs. So I would rank Volume 3 higher than the other 2. This one's kind of tough to give the bell to. I might give it, Hello Happy might be an honorable mention because Alien and Maware are both really good songs. Honestly, Hello Happy might be the one that I might give it to. Roselia is really strong just because I really, really love the cat song. I love the cat cover, and I know it's a really controversial opinion to like the cat cover. I really like it, but this game cover does drag it back a bit. It's fine. It's fine. Again, not one of Konomi Suzuki's better songs. Afterglows is okay. I mean, Poppin' Party isn't too bad either. I think actually this one I'm gonna give it to Hello Happy and an honorable mention to Roselia. I think it's a really strange take, but I think Hello Happy takes this one for me. Okay, cover 4. Let's have a closer look at cover 4 here. I do think now, looking at it a little bit more closely, I do think cover 4 was better than cover 3. There are some really good songs. Like Q&A Recital was super cute. Again, the Hello Happy was just so strong. Miro, but Roku Chonen was a banger. And Amano Jaku was probably my favorite song in this particular cover, in this collection. Oh, I didn't mention what was my favorite song in volume 3. It was Cat. It was Cat. You're right. Amano Jaku is my favorite one here, but I'm not gonna give it to Afterglow. I might have to give this to Hello Happy again. Shanghai Honey and Renai Saiban is really strong. Like, that's a super strong list right there. Honorable mention to... It might be Roselia again. I'm not really a huge fan of the Miro cover, though. Not as much as the original. But it might have to go to that. Oh, actually, Volume 4 is... Let me have a look at Volume 3 real quick. I might actually like Volume 3 more than Volume 4. I think I'm going to give the slight edge to Volume 3. I think I might give the slight edge to Volume 3. Oh, but Volume 4 had such good songs. Like Amano Jaku and Shanghai Honey? Oh my god. I think just like before I said I tied it, I'll probably tie it here as well. Yeah, I think I'll tie it, but I think the winner for Volume 3 and Volume 4 both Hello Happy for me. Oh wait, this one is easily the best one. There's no way. This one was so good. Like, Poppin' Party might actually win. Like, Poppin' Parties was so good. Like, Inferno and Dramaturgy were so good, and Afterglow's probably not gonna win this. Like, this is so stacked. Volume 5 was just so good, man. Volume 5 was like the jam. Oja Majo Carnival, oh man. No, this one was easily the most stacked. This one, I actually don't know who wins this one. It might be Afterglow and an honorable mention to Poppin' Party. I do like Koga and Pocho was so good, but Paradise's Paradoxa was also really good too. Man, this cover collection was so stacked. I think I'm gonna give it to Afterglow just because I love Dramaturgy. Dramaturgy is actually like one of my favorite covers. And then like I never put Poppin' Party as an honorable mention, but we're doing that. This Poppin' Party set was so good. Cherry Bomb and Sosei, Aquarian. Oh my god. Holy moly. Yeah, like how is Ras the one that gets the L here? Like this one, like the Street Fighter song, it's a good song, but it's nothing too memorable. Like that's actually just the song that no one really cares about the most. And that's probably like saying something because this is not a bad song. Even We Are is not a bad song either, but I think like compared to the other ones, it's pretty weak because it just shows how stacked this cover collection is. So yeah, Afterglow goes it to me. So 2 Afterglow dubs, 2 Hello Happy dubs, and 1 Roselia dub, which is really interesting because again, Roselia is my favorite band, but in terms of the covers, Roselia only has 1 dub, but it's like a really convincing dub. Oh, and my favorite song out of all of this, yeah, Dramaturgy, followed by Aquarian, and then probably maybe even Koga ni Pocho after. So Savior song is really good. Oh, Never Everland too. Oh my god, Morph is so strong too. Melissa and Never Everland, that is such a strong duo too. All right, Volume 6 had like the weird ones, and I think this one is weaker than Volume 5 for sure. Is it weaker than Volume 3 or 4? I don't think so. I think there are enough gems in here that I think it does go over some of the older albums. Now this one's a triplet, and this one's kind of hard because it's a triplet. Like, I think every single band here has at least 1 song that's like really good, maybe even 2 songs that are really good, and then the other one's kind of like, like, huh? Right? Like, it's a little weird. Like, for instance, for me with Poppin' Party, like, these 2 are really good, and then Sora Your Days is alright. For Past the Palettes, I think Past the Palettes is probably the weakest. Actually, no. Hello Happy this time was really weak. I didn't really like any of the Hell Happy songs, but the Passive Palettes was not that strong either, in my opinion. Nostalgic Rainfall, pretty good though. And then Morph okay. CQ the best out of the three, but yeah, it's a pretty low bar. Again, this first disc was kind of a flop. Like, if you just gave me this disc 1, and compared it to all the other volumes, I think this is probably the weakest out of all of them. Like, this is easily the weakest out of all, even weaker than volume 1. Poppin' Party probably carries this one, but yeah, it's a pretty weak one. It's a pretty weak one. Disc 2 though, pretty solid. I think Afterglow for me wins this one too. I think they're all three like really like songs that I generally like wouldn't mind listening to, all three of them. Venom is definitely one of my favorite covers in this particular album. I'll honor mention, of course, The King. King is really good too. My Dearest is pretty good. Shangri-La is okay, I suppose. And then the last ones, Daybreak Frontline was really good. The other two, okay, I suppose. Yeah, this was such a hyped up disc because there was 2 volumes and all these songs, but the song selection, it was weird. It was a weird one. Now, Volume 7, as we talked about just now, a very good selection, honestly. Now just looking at it, yeah, this is a really strong selection. So this is easily the second best cover, like by far. Again, my favorite out of all this is Unravel. I do think Morphonica does win this one. I think Morphonica does have my favorite set. Honorable mention probably to Hello Happy, although again, I put Hyadan pretty low, so it may not actually be that, but I think it is. I think it is. So, yeah, I think Morph easily takes the cake for me though. But I think my favorite 2 songs were Unravel and Si Vous Président. And what do you guys think? So I think, again, my order is 5, 7. I don't even know if I want to give 6 that high, because 6, there were some pretty... I think it might actually be like 5, 7, and then 6, 4, and 3 are all kind of like tied, because they all have really good songs and really kind of okay songs. And then 2 is second to last, and then obviously 1 is last place. So that's my order of the volume collection. I hope Volume 8 will continue to bring some bangers. So let's see how that goes. I do look forward to Volume 8, hopefully sometime next year.